Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Listen, guys, I've been humbled again. I thought I was smart. I really did think I'm smart. I mean, not too smart, let's not exaggerate, but I did think that I could think. And now I'm just thinking, wow, what is Europe thinking? What are they getting out of it? Like, literally, what are they getting out of going against, siding with the IRGC, going against America and the United States and Israel now? What are they counting? Like, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? I'm just very, very curious. And I tried, and listen, I spent time since I've seen their announcements, right? And their things that they had to say while hosting Ashalia El Julani, the butcher of Damascus, that killed many Alawites. And right now, the Christians in Syria cannot celebrate Christmas because they're Christians under Sharia. So no Christmas, no, I'm sorry, Christmas, Easter, no Easter for them, no Easter in Syria. I mean, I'll guess Christmas, maybe it's gonna be no Christmas either. So we don't know. There is some time yet, but while these guys paraded all over Europe, visiting Germany, saying he's gonna take the Syrians from Germany back to Syria. What drugs are they taking? I mean, okay. Does anyone here? You know what? I'll just say something else. Anyone here believe that the Syrians are gonna go back to Syria from Germany? And yes, and everybody, happy Passover, y'all. I'm seeing people are commenting. Happy Passover. So we're gonna talk about Passover in a little bit, because right now I just need to understand what's going on. I have many questions. I've been humbled trying to understand what is Europe getting by siding with the IRGC and going against the USA and Israel. What are they hoping to get out of it? What are they hoping to get out of it? I mean, I've seen Israel already announce that they're canceling their military contracts with France, and I've seen Europeans celebrating that Israel and France are not gonna exchange weapons anymore. I mean, let me, let's do a little bit of a poll. Where is it? Where is my okay. What is Europe thinking? You guys, tell me. Okay, you guys don't know what? In the comments, what is Europe thinking? No correct answers. I mean, I guess there isn't a correct answer. Maybe there is, but because they're crazy, but like no correct answers. What is Europe thinking? That's a challenge. Okay. And I'll write the poll. Sir, I said no correct answers, and clearly Europe is not thinking that is the correct answer. So what's the not correct answer? Will the Syrians go leave Germany and go back to Syria? That's a very important poll. Yes. Here, 2 options. Okay, you're saying Europe is afraid to upset their Muslim population. Case in point, Stormy making a video about Islamophobia yesterday. Interesting. That's a take. Okay. You should have asked me. I can think of clothes that would flatter you more than what's in the thumbnail. That's unrelated, sir. Incorrect answer. Europe wants better food. That's a good one, actually. That's a good one. That makes perfect sense. Listen, I got to the point where I was like, you know what? Like, I just ask Rock, I asked, and I think we should ask Grok because I before I go and explain everything that's going on and everything that had been in the news, let's try to understand. Like, first of all, my question is like, what do we need Europe for again? And I don't know why Grok decided I'm based on in the United States. But here's Grok. What is Grok is saying? Okay. We don't strictly need Europe for survival. The US or any single power could muddle through without it. Okay. Just as Europe could without the US. Historically, economic security and geopolitics show deep interdependence, but it's not one-way charity. Europe punches below its weight. Europe punches below its weight. let's just think. Let's just. I see. Okay. In some areas, due to due to demographics, regulation, and past free riding. Yet it remains massive market, research partner, and frontline against shared threats like Russia. Here is a data-driven breakdown of early 2026. Okay, shared threats like Russia. Okay. By the time Russia gets to, like, if they start with Europe, they're gonna be very tired by the point they are a threat to the US, I think, personally. Oh, okay. Europe doesn't punch, it issues statements. Thank you, Willie. This should be the standard default for most polls. What is that? So yeah, I for some reason I decided we is the United States. I don't know why. The EU is the world's third largest economy. It has 450 million people and grew 1.5% in real GDP. Better than 2024, but still sluggish. US, blah, blah, blah. That's not interesting. That is... So Europe's slower, but we trade more with Asia now. So losing it wouldn't collapse the US economy because Asia is doing better now, but it would hurt specific sectors and raise costs. Europe's slow growth and bureaucracy, high welfare, makes it less dynamic than the US or parts of Asia, but it's still a rich, stable consumer base. Well, that wouldn't change, I think. Security ally, not just freeloader anymore. Okay. NATO's core burden has been US vessel guaranteeing European security while Europe focused on butter. Huh? That dynamic shifted hard in 2025. Yeah, we can see how much it's shifted. Okay. Europe has never been colonized. Well, sir, Russia colonized Europe. Not and like half of it until recently, sir. I don't know if you remember. All right. Countries like Poland, the Baltics, and the Nordics outspend the US as percentage of the... Okay, these countries can survive, as far as I'm concerned. I think. I don't know. I didn't see their statements yet, so maybe they should also be colonized. Yes, that's true. Allies did colonize Spain, but Spain is now a communist shit also, and now they're all right. Blah blah blah. It's a direct response to Russia's war in Ukraine and broader threats. A stable Europe. I mean, Europe keeps energy markets steadier, prevents refugee waves, and denies Russia or China easy wins. How does it deny anything? I mean, they're there as like cannon meat, right? It's like they're there to be like meat to catch bullets, and possibly nukes, right? It's like this is like because it's like you need to get rid of them as well. So they are like they catch some of the bullets and missiles for for the United States. That you have to take a little bit more steps to reach the United States. I see. I understand. That's very useful. Europe isn't defending the US homeland, but shared bases, intel, logistics make US power projection cheaper globally. Without it, we'd spend even more solo against revisionist powers. Interesting. So honestly, like I don't see like I don't see the Baltics or the Hungary like Europe is not one country. Yeah, just Western Europe is like they decided to lose, but you still have other countries in Europe. Oh, you said thought wrong answers only, but I asked what it was thinking. What is it? What like this? That doesn't answer the question. If a wrong answer that answers the question of what the heck Europe is thinking. Thank you. America should let Russia and the EU fight and stay out of it. That's an option. Innovation and soft power. Historical engine, current contributor. Europe invents much of the modern world. Enlightenment values, rule of law, industrial revolution. I mean, rule of law, like, I mean, that's not exactly Europe. Okay, fine. I'll give it to them. The Industrial Revolution, 100%. I give it to Europe. And early signs that shaped the US. Today, it still delivers strong patent filling at the European Patent Office, with Europe holding its own versus non-Europe, top per capita innovation in places like Switzerland and Nordics, and 2025 Nobel Economic Prizes tied to growth theory. I mean, I don't trust the Nobel at all, but okay. Yes, especially when it like I saw so when I saw like that communists got a Nobel Prize recently, I was like, ugh. I don't know when that went to shit, but 2025 is probably already went to shit. I mean, we can check it, but I'm lazy. US firms partner with European talent and labs. Many breakthroughs are collaborative. Culturally, it's the root of Western civilization, art, philosophy, music, food that America still consumes and exports. Not vital for GDP, but it shapes the we in the West. I mean, fine. Geopolitics, buffer against a surge. Europe sits in the front lines versus Russia, which is actively trying to fracture the West, and faces China's economic infiltration, tech ports, influence. To be honest, like Europe is not helping at all with fighting the fracturing of the West. It literally actively participates in the psyops of Russia. Like Europe does more to fracture the United States maybe than Russia does, just because you look at Europe and it's like, ugh. Okay. A weak or divided Europe hands Moscow, Beijing, easier divide and conquer wins, energy coercion, supply chain leverage, or NATO paralysis. Europe's location, ports, and industrial base makes it a platform for projecting Western power or denying it to rivals. Asia-Europe ties are growing precisely because both see value in hedging US, Russia, China dynamics. No. All right, the realistic caveats. Europe isn't indispensable. That's a very important point. Its population share is shrinking, fertility is below replacement, regulation chokes dynamism, and it still imports energy vulnerability. Defense spending grows only after Russia invaded, better late than ever, But the US carried the alliance for decades. Trade deficits and regulatory exports, and no US businesses. If Europe keeps declining internally, its value erodes. Bottom line, we don't need Europe like oxygen, but it's a high value partner for markets, R&D, security, burden sharing, and blocking Eurasian authoritarians from dominating key terrain. Europe gains more from the US umbrella than vice versa, but the alliance has been net positive for the West. The real question isn't what do we need them for, it's whether Europe reforms enough to stay relevant instead of becoming a museum of with good wine. Facts say it's trying harder now than in the 2010s. Right. So don't forget to smash the like. It's 100% free. And please do support this channel by going to PayPal or buy me coffee or Patreon and things like that. And very, very interesting take. I learned something, no doubt. No doubt I've learned something. So let me. So here I want to show that Trigonometry made a video on their thoughts on the Iran war. I don't know why they thought anyone cares what a couple of Brits think about the Iranian war, which they don't participate in. So it's not their business at all. It's just something that they have to, just live with. But whatever. So their thoughts, let's see, it's their thoughts on the Iran war. I'm not gonna watch much, believe me, but
I'll be honest, I think this is going to be a very controversial episode, and a lot of people are not going to like what we have to say.
Because it's none of your business, sir. It's like I don't get it. Like sometimes they're like, can you imagine? Like, it's like the stupid Europeans going around is like, oh, like Ukraine shouldn't fight. Like it's not your work. You don't matter, sweetheart. You literally don't matter. Ugh.
The reality,
but whatever, because I was curious. I thought maybe they would be able to explain to me, like, what the heck are they thinking when they're are they trying to piss America off? Like, what is the goal here? What is the goal? What are they trying to do?
This is one of the most important topics that we have covered in the history of trigonometry.
We are not experts, but what I think we can
So you should, okay, sure.
do is share some of our impressions, including of a number of conversations we had with people.
What do you want to say? He wants to say we're gonna share our feelings, not impressions, feelings. I don't like it. It's why do you reserve it to the left? You guys are about to share your feelings, not your impressions.
Who do have access to the administration's thinking on these issues. I'm not saying they're right. I'm just saying this is what we have heard, and you take it or leave it as you want. Almost every recession in history is caused by the primary form of energy dominant at that time, spiking in price.
If we look closer to home, this war in Iran could have very, very real political consequences.
Okay, and whose fault is that? Like, seriously, I don't, like I said it before, like the delusional Europeans think that Israel should accept the idea that they would take would get hit by a nuke so that they wouldn't suffer the energy price crisis. Why do those losers just sit? Because I'll tell you something. There are powers beyond your control. So what you do is can you imagine that they sit and are like, oh, how do you feel? How do you feel about Corona existing? Sweetheart, it exists. Oh, how do I feel? I don't know. I don't like that there are heart attacks. Okay, I don't like. It's like, this is how stupid it sounds to me, really. Like, yeah, I don't like it that there are frogs. I don't like it that the French think that frogs are food. Is food. So what? Like, it's honestly like, okay. No, sweetheart, here's the conversation you're supposed to be having. Here's the situation. There are things that, like, it is what it is. How do you navigate it? How do we make sure that the loser Brits can survive this upcoming year? Right. The denial about the China-Russia agency alliance reminds me of the appeasement. Yep. Yep. About Hitler that made Chamberlain and co. into historical memes. And here's the thing, it will be March. Here's the thing, right? These little pieces of whiny crybabies. Like, what do you like? Do you expect America to come and rescue you when things go like down the like completely like? What are they expecting? Like it's gonna be like World War II, where America comes and rescues the Europe again? That's the plan. Like you listen, it you know, it's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. How does it go? You know, it's like what the heck? I mean, it's not like, you know, it's like, come on, we've been through it already. We've been there, okay? Can you not learn?
So, Francis, another US trip summing up.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't released most of the episodes we've recorded.
Honestly, like I'm watching them because they're like at least like reasonable Europeans. Like this is the best Europe can give us. This is why I'm not sure like what. Yeah. What are you saying? As a Dutch, I do see an ex-Muslim as a huge upgrade in decent human behaviors. I don't know what it's related to.
But we wanted to record this to catch everybody up to where we are and what we've learned and what we've seen here, which is quite a lot. And a lot of it is to do with the war in Iran. And I'll be honest, I think this is going to be a very controversial episode.
Yeah, because it's two unrelated people talking about it, but for sure.
A lot of people are not
like, what do you want Britain to do? Like, you know, it's like, okay, Britain is like the wimpiest wimp it can be. Like, you cannot be more neutral and pathetic than Britain right now. So what's this conversation for?
What we have to say, which is why I think it's really important that we explain how we've arrived at the views that we've come to. So first of all, I think it's worth setting out how we've covered this war from the beginning and how we've began
and
to
you
shape
know
our
what?
views on
You
it.
know what they do now? What they do? They bring back the Gaza war. So they are like, everybody suddenly, I saw everybody's just like remembering that like Israel flattened Gaza, and by the way, there is like, it's still not flat completely, so there is still work. I mean, like, how is it like why what does one have to do with another actually? Like,
It's a great point. So first of all, I want to talk about how we came to this war even before it started. So we were broadly in support of the 12-day war because we thought that was the most effective way of dealing with Iran's nuclear weapons. It's really important that
okay, I'm already pissed off at the we thought. Like when he said we thought, you like, this is where he lost me.
That Iran doesn't develop a nuclear weapon for the stability of the Middle East more broadly and for the globe.
Okay, sweetheart, and like I understand, like you're a very cute person. Like thinking is not for everyone. I understand.
As well, we're also products of the Iraq War. We came of age during the Iraq War. So whenever someone mentions the words regime change, immediately we get an almost, I would say, visceral reaction, because we saw what happened when the invasion of Iraq happened. We saw what the long-term consequences, spikes in terrorism, all of that.
And by the way, what about Libya? What about Syria, etc.?
So when this war was initially being spoken about and then the bombing started, I initially had quite a negative reaction to it. But one of the things that we have both learned in trigonometry is it's important to realize that those are emotional reactions, to put them to one side, and then to analyze the arguments as they are and decide independently and come to our own conclusions of what the best arguments are and therefore the best possible course of action to take. And one of the things that really shaped my framing was the fantastic live stream we did with Ayman Dean and Richard Miniter. And Ayman Dean is a former Al-Qaeda MI6 double operative.
Yep.
And Ayman explained to us the makeup of Iran. 25% in favor of the regime.
They talk way too much. Honestly, when do they get to the point? Is there a point here? You guys, do you want to listen to them? Because I'm losing my patience. It's so many words. Like, oh my God, you learned that there are different ethnicities in Iran. Listen, sweethearts, okay? Iran, you like
25%.
You guys, everybody cannot stand it. Like, yeah, I agree. Okay, so you're saying 1.5 speed. Let's do it. I'd rather take a stroll in Gaza City than listen to this guy, for sure. There's so many words and most of them are wrong. I love that they bring Iraq because, that's one of the things that you don't know what the alternative was, right? Like if America never went into Iran, what would the world look like? To Iraq, sorry. Which is, by the way, like Iran took over Iraq. But honestly, thanks for Iraq, thanks to America going into Iraq, we actually have Kurdistan now. Kurdistan, I know people don't know, but it exists. It exists, and by the way, because they have their own desalination, they have their own water infrastructures and everything, because they didn't, unlike Iraq, they didn't have to go through the Iranian regime to get approval to build all of those things, which the Iraqis didn't get, so they don't have water either. And we do have Kurdistan now. So I wouldn't say I would it's easy to say but maybe in several decades we look back and be like, wait, here is a critical element that we didn't have, because Saddam Hussein, one of the things that he did, he used whatever he could to just bomb the Kurdish people. So he bombed Kurdistan to oblivion, Saddam Hussein, right? That's his name. Iraq, and now we have Kurdistan. You're saying Kurds aren't necessarily friendly to the Jews? I haven't seen them, because there are a good amount of Jews who travel to Kurdistan. Actually, they're pretty friendly. I don't know where that thing that Kurds are not friendly to Jews, where it comes from, because it's it would be. I believe it in theory, but in reality, I didn't see it. It doesn't match the ground information I have from even Jews who were in Kurdistan and went to Kurdistan. So people who literally visited that Kurdistan. So I don't know. Not Kyrgyzstan, Kurdistan. Kyrgyzstan is a different place. I mean, live with Kurds for a while and see. No, listen, that's different. That's different. I do think that the Kurds have personality. Let's say it like that. And it's a matter of taste. And to be honest, also Israelis have a lot of personality, and it's not for everyone. And Israelis are not everyone's cup of tea, and I cannot blame anyone for thinking that, honestly. Honestly, if somebody comes to me and is like, oh, Israelis are not my cup of tea, I understand. I understand. Israelis have a personality, and they have their presence. So, all right, I'm trying to understand if at some point, like they have like a point to make. Like, are they? Where is the point? Okay, maybe this one is interesting. Exactly. I'm pretty sure Israelis are not Israeli. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. See, so I mean, it's just I understand what you're saying, but I also understand like it's saying it's not like always like like they have presence, but so do Israelis. Okay, let's do 1.5. And see if, because I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn what the heck the Europeans are
Things
thinking.
happening, and I don't think it will, because I always say to people, like, imagine, like, we're not fans of the current British government, but if France, did a targeted strike on 10 Downing Street, I don't think we'd all rise up and overthrow the Labour Party. We'd think about defending our country from.
Okay, you guys, okay, how stupid is this argument? I want to hear you guys, because this was the most amazing argument I've heard. Listen.
The Navy admiral and this and that. But nothing is happening, and I don't think it will, because I always say to people, like, imagine, like, we're not fans of the current British government, but if France, did a targeted strike on 10 Downing Street, I don't think we'd all rise up and overthrow the Labour Party. We'd think about defending our country from the French. Right? When your country's attacked, what you do is rally around the flag. And also, the people who were prepared to really overthrow the regime, unfortunately, they've all been killed. The news doesn't just tell you what's happening. It often tells you what to think is happening. And these days, the biggest red...
Oh my God, I know, I cannot. Europe is dead. Brain dead. Okay, I need to hear it again. Let's hear it again slowly this time, because it was too good. When did it start, this mumbo jumble of words? I think right here. No, again, I need to hear it slowly, like, I think it...
But nothing is happening, and I don't think it will, because I always say to people, like, imagine, like, we're not fans of the current British government, but if France, did a targeted strike on 10 Downing Street, I don't think we'd all rise up and overthrow the Labour Party. We'd think about defending our country from the French. Right? When your country is attacked, what you do is rally around the flag. And also, the people who were prepared to really overthrow the regime, unfortunately, they've all been killed. The news doesn't just tell...
Oh, well. It was nice to know you, Europe. I guess. Are there intelligent people that speak for Europeans? Like, do they exist? Because, like, okay, so let me explain. Okay, so imagine that the Labour government would not just arrest you for speaking your minds on Twitter, but would also rape you to oblivion when they do, and also would control all the economic system in the country, and also dry up the water and kill and basically turn Britain into a desert, and also like would hang people in the public square, because, like, here's the funny part, right? Like, when the Brits did stuff like that and France came and bombed, then it was the whole thing that made America suffered, or something like this. So I mean, I don't know. Like, the Labour government is awful, and I think maybe you should consider rebelling against the Labour government. But You're saying you have a lot of many smart friends and clients from the EU. Most of them are moving away. Where are they moving to? Where are they going? That's a good. Am I drunk? Am I drunk? How do I explain? So, you know, the kind of like dizziness that you have when you like hit your head or something like that. That's how I feel. Because it's like, the heck are you just listen to? You know, it's like, that's how I feel. So technically I'm not drunk, but it's more like of trauma, you know, it's like, exactly, I'm mind blown. Yes.
which there doesn't seem to be, then effectively what are we doing is we're moving towards chaos because you need a plan. If you think about Vietnam, what was the objective of Vietnam? To win hearts and minds. Well, of course we failed because there was no clear strategic plan in place. And then what you have is then you have the Americans who have got one objective, and then you've got Israel who have got another objective.
And you've got the Gulf states who also, they're much more like Israel. We'll talk about this later as well, for sure.
Yeah, so you're just going, if the objectives are not aligned, if we don't have a clear focus and a clear strategy, if we don't have the same objective, then how are we going to be successful? It's like, think about this show. If you had one objective, I had another objective, even with a company as small as Trigonometry and a YouTube channel, your objectives are misaligned. Therefore, you are not going to be working in tandem.
What are you talking? Like, I don't understand what they're saying. The regime needs to go down. Everybody is objective or aligned. I mean, like, what? It's also funny to me because what they're saying right now, it like what I'm thinking is like, you don't believe in democracy then at all, because this is how democracies work, by the way, because every person brings their own vision, because this is the thing, right? When you're a democracy, in principle, every person needs to be part of the governance of system of their country. So they are all supposed to have some idea of what direction they think the country should go in, and you know. And the thing is that I swear to you that if you find two people that have exactly the same thoughts, then something is weird going on. It's very, very, very rare that you're going to find two people who agree completely. Do you know when people have perfect alignment? Exactly, in authoritarian regimes. So I don't know, what is like, because like, it's funny that I'm hearing, and I also want to say like, that it's just, the reason I'm bringing it up, I know it sounds like, what does it have to do with each other? Because here's the thing, people hear those arguments and they start thinking the same way about everything that this argument applies to.
Therefore, you're not going to be working in alignment. And what will naturally happen is that there will be conflict, not only with Iran, but also with each other. And you look at, for instance, what happened with Israel bombing the oil plantation, not the oil plantation, the oil factory. What's the word?
I think it was gas, actually.
It was a gas, apologies, in Iran. And you look at that and you think to yourself, well, the Americans, Trump was obviously very angry and very upset about this, and quite rightly so, because it couldn't be interpreted as anything other than an escalatory move, an escalatory.
I wasn't that angry about it, honestly.
Now, look, there is some debate about this, because there are people who say, well, actually, Trump is pretending to pursue negotiations while actually secretly allowing Israel to bomb, because it puts Iran in a pickle. We'll talk about Israel in a second.
Yeah.
But let's just come back to the conversations that we had. We had Ted Cruz, we had Mehdi Hassan.
Wait, let's speed it up. I'm trying to understand how Europeans think. I know they don't really think.
Look, I didn't find Mehdi's arguments particularly persuasive either, but it's important to have people from his perspective on the show, and I'm very glad he
it's
came
not.
on.
You don't need to.
Then we
you
have
don't
Robert
need
Capon.
to bring Al Qaeda members and and the Muslim Brotherhood members to your show. You really don't. You don't need to bring the perspectives of people who want. Here's the thing. This is the difference, right? So both America and Israel, right? They might disagree on some things here and there, but in general, we agree that we believe in certain values, right? We believe in it. We believe in freedom, liberty, you know. America has its like have everything around liberty. Israel right now, starting tomorrow, has an entire week of celebrations that is all around liberty. You know, we have the same values and stuff like this, okay? When you bring over people who are ideologically not aligned, you are actually, why do you do this? You're ruining yourself. Don't bring them. You don't need to bring somebody who wants, is like, oh yeah, let's hear your perspective. Well, I want you to die. Interesting. Thank you. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Why is it interesting? It's not interesting.
And that's where I think
don't bring over these people, hang them.
Both of us felt that this was the first time we were presented with arguments where we couldn't really find a gap or a hole in them. There are some concerns about what you're saying, but it's probably worth restating for people who didn't watch that interview. I mean, he's a guy who's been studying air campaigns for over 30 years. He predicted the 12-day war. He predicted that it would lead to a regime change war later. And his arguments are basically this. First of all, the nuclear material was not destroyed in the 12-day war. We know that for a fact, because otherwise why would this war be happening, right? So the nuclear materials are still there, and they're now dispersed around Iran. They are not going to be secured through extract. And people are openly saying this, whether it's Bibi Netanyahu or Mark Levin on Twitter. I saw him today saying you can't get nuclear material without going into the tunnels where it's stored and getting it out, which means boots on the ground, right? So you're not going to get the nuclear materials.
So now we have to
far more.
I don't understand this. I'm not an old professor. I also said that it's gonna happen. You can look at my channel. I also predicted all those things. So what?
That is a risk. And his argument is the US is now in an escalation trap where every step they take to escalate will be met by Iran with more escalation that creates now permanent
and that
damage.
is good.
So
that is good, because what does the Bible
with...
say? The Bible say veksheti et lev paro, and I made Pharaoh's heart like hard as stone, so that he would be destroyed. That's a good thing, thank goodness, because they have to go. They have to go.
With is destruction of Gulf Arab and Iranian oil facilities, which means that the current spike in oil prices, which if it lasts for a few months will cause a global recession, could actually last a year or more if that happens. So this escalation trap is there. And so in other words, unless the United States is prepared to do to Iran what the Western allies did to Japan and Germany, there is actually no way of achieving the objectives of getting rid of the nuclear weapons and of reopening the Strait of Hormuz. And I haven't heard, and we've tried to find people who offer a counter perspective to that, I haven't heard a persuasive argument about why he's wrong.
Well, this is the...
Okay. So you need to fight until the regime changes. But people like you, who are so used to not fighting for anything and talking to people who want to kill you as if it's a normal thing to do, it's not normal. Let me explain something that I think needs to be said very, very, very simply. Okay, if somebody wants to kill you, it's not normal to pretend that there are people you can talk to. It's not. You don't make peace with enemies. You make peace with people who disagree with you because like technical things, not people who are your enemies. You destroy your enemies.
Worry, because then you also, what the Americans are trying to do now is have talks in Pakistan with the Iranian officials. But Iran doesn't seem to be wanting to play ball. And if you look at it from an Iranian perspective...
Okay, so you need to remove the regime. Okay, I get it. It doesn't want to play ball. Rebecca, is Israeli Air Force conducting strikes inside Iran on a daily basis? What? Yes. Daily is an understatement.
Would they? Why would they? You have started a war, you have killed their leader, you have killed many of the highest ranking officials. The Iranians have come out and said, look, Trump has tricked us twice. Why would we believe him? Why would we actually go and try
I'm very worried. I'm very worried about whatever that is that just happened right now. I mean, what, okay, where in, what nothing they say makes sense. Like nothing they say are actually words with meaning. Like, I get the free speech thing. I get it. But like, if your free speech is like blah, 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 it's like meaningless words, like I don't get it. Like, this is why I like the prophetic Bible version. Is like, if there's something you must, and somebody has to say that must be said, like, I don't know, then you can say it. But no, they're not saying anything. Like, here's the thing, they can say it with, they can say the truth, right? The truth is simple. Yeah, the truth is simple. There is no way out but regime change, because this regime would never trust Trump. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking. Like, why does he think that this regime is trustworthy? Like, this is what I dislike especially. Like, this hidden assumption that this regime is somewhat trustworthy. How about the regime is also, if let's say, at least, if not more.
If you look at it another way, look, they can continue going down this path, but the reality is, Iran holds the major trump card, which is the Strait of Hormuz. Right. Eventually, we are going to have to sit down and have a negotiation with the Iranians.
No, we don't. We actually don't. Actually, if you actually listen to your line of argumentation, you would understand that this line leads into one conclusion, that this regime would never trust America. America would never trust this regime because they're really untrustworthy, and that they are a bunch of lunatics. So this regime has to change. I just doesn't like the conclusion of this line of thought. It's like, oh, 2 + 2 equals 4, but I don't like this result, so I'm gonna change it to something else. This is how it works right now. It's like, I don't like the conclusion I'm getting into, so I'm gonna swiftly change course and pretend that everything I just said, like, doesn't make sense.
What Robert Pape was saying is that it would have been far better to do this and accept the original deal that was on the table than to go.
Rebecca, how do you see the regime changing, honey? Because the RGC folks are doing the good job at building pressure in the US. You see, this is the interesting thing, right? This is the time where you are actually in a situation of, when you do like arm wrestling and it's just like in the middle and you need to see who gives up first. It's like, this is the situation, because here's the thing, the regime is gonna change in America pretty soon. That's easy. So there is this, like, because there is democracy and crap like that. So the RDC might be doing a good job, but the truth is that if they win, they win. And then they're gonna go back to building nukes. We're gonna get nukes. The world is gonna go into a nuclear war, probably next year. So, okay, it's an option. Like World War II was like we already know it already happened. It happened, right? Like millions died. Tens and hundreds of millions died. Okay, it's got tens of millions and hundreds of millions are gonna die again. That's okay.
From start a war, when the reality is that Iran are now, to put it bluntly, a little bit annoyed about what's happened and are very much going to be less likely to want to agree a deal.
Well, and forget about annoyed.
Okay, so can you not like reach the final conclusion that actually says that the regime must change, and then it's like the thing is, like, everything he's saying is like leading to the one conclusion he just doesn't want to say because he doesn't want to do it. It's like, you know what it sounds like to me? Like, imagine you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you you're fat, and you start talking about the fact that the fat just doesn't want to go away, just doesn't want to leave your body. And it's clear that, like, if the fat would, like, the only way the fat would go away is like if you like go to the gym or eat healthier. But then you're like, But then you're like, but it's like, I don't know, like just the fat is not gonna go away. And it's like, no matter what, it's like they never get to the conclusion that they need to go to the gym, because it's like, right? It's like, oh, it's like, why doesn't the fat go away? Like, but you're gonna die, because of a heart attack. But no matter how much you negotiate with the fat doesn't go away. How about you go running? Then? And it's like, no, but whatever they can to make sure that they're not gonna go running. That's the thing.
There's also the realpolitik of this, which is they hold the trump card, as you said, and they know that America is in an escalation trap. So it's perfectly within reason that they don't have to reopen the Strait of Hormuz because it's not closed. It's the Strait of Hormuz is not closed. This is what people need to understand. What they've done is they effectively made it a toll booth where they let in the ships that they choose and don't let in the ships that they don't choose. And this is where
Listen, okay, you guys. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
the problem is because a lot of people say, well,
I'm very sorry, but it's like, sweethearts, sometimes you have to go to the gym and run, or you're gonna die from being fat and having an heart attack. That's just like it's like, this is the situation we're at, okay? It's like, you don't want to hear, like, what does the doctor say? You have to go and run, sweetheart. You cannot continue being lazy. You're gonna die. I was like, I mean, fine, die then. I'm very tired. At this point, like, that's it. Like, I cannot. Like, they're out of the doctor office. By the way, let me jump to the end. Actually, maybe in the end they reach a conclusion that is actually the truth.
What happens is that will lend itself towards conspiracy, because conspiracies are glamorous, they're exciting, they're sexy. That's why conspiracy theory content is one of the most viewed types of content on YouTube, because it triggers the amygdala. You're like, oh, this is exciting, this is dangerous. Well, it doesn't mean that it's right or it's correct, but that's all you are doing. When you shut down conversations, you're allowing conspiracy theories to flourish. And I don't need to be the most perceptive person in the world to go, conspiracy theories, Jewish people tend to go together. And we need to be very, very, very careful, because if we don't handle this correctly, if we start shutting people down, if we continue down this path of smearing people, the conspiracy theories will only...
Listen, the doctor is not to blame for you choosing to eat ice cream all day and never going to the gym.
rise, and they will become more prevalent, and they will become more anti-Semitic in their nature, and that again will lead to dangerous...
What the heck? Why are you bringing us to it? That's what also I dislike, okay? Don't even bring the Jews, okay? Do something about your thinking.
Outcomes in the real world. Look, we're British. If we look closer to home, this war in Iran could have very, very real political consequences.
Thank you, finally.
We see in the UK, the conversation now tends to be, look, life has become more unaffordable for the vast majority of people, which is true. We're in a cost of living crisis, a housing crisis, all these things are true. What the hard left does is go, we need a wealth tax. The reason we can't afford things is because the billionaires and the millionaires are not paying their fair share. Therefore, we need higher taxes, because that's the only way we can redistribute wealth in order to make society fairer.
Listen,
now, reality is that
you don't need to bring that kind of perspective into the table. You don't need to bring it as an option. It's not an option. Aristotle said it very well. Redistributing property is the reason he disliked democracy, because he thought whatever, like, no matter what, like, it would always go there, and it's gonna ruin society, and it's actually a form of tyranny. So if it goes, and I agree with Aristotle, I don't agree with everything he said. I actually don't agree with his argument with the way he made it there, because, the only thing that he was correct about is the thing is that redistribution is a sign of tyranny, but you don't need to bring it to the conversation, okay? Just don't.
That simply won't work, quite simply because if you decide to tax these people and tax these people incredibly hard, they will leave. And you can agree or disagree with that, but that is the reality. But what worries me is that more and more people will become persuaded to this line of thinking, the more unaffordable their lives become, partly...
It's because you present it as a viable option, you idiot. Don't present it as a viable option. It's like, it's like, like when I said like when I was younger, and I said like, you know, like sometimes like somebody is like threatening you, and then you cannot choose like liberty or doing the right thing because you're under threat. And then my dad was like, well, then you die. Death is also a choice. Yeah, death is also a choice.
due to the war in Iran and rising oil, energy, and food prices. And that is a very real concern. And then we have political parties like the Green Party who will make hay with this particular argument. And a lot of people will be persuaded about it, and we're going to see more and more people go over to the populist left. And that is a very real worry, because if they become more powerful, then what we're going to see, in my opinion, is an economic catastrophe.
Well, right. I mean, if the recession happens, then the Greens, people don't want to hear this, particularly people on the right, but the party with the biggest momentum in British politics as we sit here now is the Green Party. I'm not denying it.
Mm-hmm.
Reform are leading the polls, but the Greens are second from very low numbers, if you look at the last election, which was only a year and a bit ago. So if there's the economic impact that we suspect there will be, you're basically getting a populist right versus a populist left at the next election. And that will probably be replicated across the European continent.
Right.
And then you are kind of in the 1920s, 1930s territory. And I'm not saying it's the rise of fascism or the rise of Stalin exactly, but you are in a point where the entirety of the center is broken down, and everybody wants a fake, simple solution to very complex problems. And people in Britain will absolutely vote for the lunatic fringe far left, as long as the lunatic fringe far left points the fingers at the people they don't like. And
fight against it, as if it's the last thing you would do, because it might actually be the last thing you would do.
Blames them for the consequences of this conflict.
No, like, I don't understand this defeatism. It's not an option. It's just not an option. In that case, then the UK should not, like, because like if the UK becomes an authoritarian Islamic communistic place, it should get nuked. That's how you should be thinking. It's not an option. Not an option. Just don't make it an option.
And also, Zach Polanski is very critical of Trump, and he's very anti-Israel. And so what that will see is an increased fracture in alliances between the UK and America. And again, we as a country, economically, we're degrading at a rate which I find profoundly worrying as a British person.
Well, we recorded an interview with Dwarkesh Patel, who is, they call him Silicon Valley's favorite podcaster. And one of the questions that our supporters asked in the Substack section was about Britain and AI. And when you said to him, you know, how well is Britain doing on AI? He literally laughed. Because of course you can't involve yourself in this new growing industry if you've got very, very high energy prices, as we do.
Okay, so how about you find a way to solve this problem instead of being like, oh, everybody's going to vote to the Greens now. No, you're just being lazy. Instead of saying, hey, here's what we have to do. We may have to make sure that we have enough energy or something.
Even though we have one AI company in the UK, their competitive disadvantage is so huge and will become even worse if this economic situation deteriorates, that we're not going to be able to have a functioning economy. And look, we should be honest with people. I don't see Britain as a viable place to live for anyone who wants to run any kind of business, including a small business like ours, if you've got a Zach Polanski premiership. I think at that point, even people like us who are desperate to stay and want to make Britain better, we would have to look at that and say, there is no future for us here.
Are you? But you're not doing crap. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, Mr. Konstantin Kisin. It's like you have a huge platform. Say how you're gonna get energy. Nuclear plants? Like what? What is the plan, you sweetheart? What is the plan? You explained the other option in detail. They spent like 15 minutes explaining how you can re-tax the rich. How about you wasted like 10 seconds explaining how you can get through the energy crisis and where you can fetch energy from?
And that's a very real concern, because it's not just, and there'll be people, making jokes in the comments, fair enough. But it's not as if we'll be an isolated case. There will be huge waves of entrepreneurs, people who create jobs, who create wealth.
And you deserve it, because you don't offer an alternative, sweetheart. You're presenting the other side, but you're not offering anything of it. But you spend so much time platforming the people who want to destroy you, who want to bring an economic system that will destroy you. You literally explaining their solution in detail. What about 1 second you think about, how do we get energy? I don't care. You can rob France if you like. I don't know. You can take over France if you want. I don't care how you get it. Honestly, get it. Losers. Thank you, Ryan Graham, for his support. It's honestly shocking how popular the Greens are in the UK, considering even here in liberal Canada, they are largely left as insignificant. Well, it's because, by the way, it's a mafia. The Greens of the UK, they operate like the mafia. Literally a mafia.
Great opportunities for others who will look at the economic situation in the UK and go, this is no longer viable.
Well, hold on. You say we won't be an isolated case. We're an
I
isolated.
also want to say maybe it would be smarter to stop spending billions on illegal invading army of men. Listen, here's an option, all right? Instead of thinking, oh, we should stop spending money on this and that. No. You should think about how you get energy. And then while you are focused on getting the energy you need and the infrastructure you need to be competitive and in the AI arena, right? Some people would have to be like, thrown into the sea because like the ship would flow more easily. Just focus on what you need. You want AI, you want energy, and then there are people who waste your energy and stop you from getting AI. You show them the deck, the deck, and thank goodness Britain is an island. Honestly, you can build like plenty of decks. You show them like, sweetheart, we are in a matter. We're we have a goal here where like, and you are not rowing the boat, so you are kind of make it heavier. So. Listen, nobody's gonna look. You just remember, focus. Yes, exactly. Walk the plank. It's like I'm saying, no. Just focus on the goal. How do you reach it? Believe me, everything else would be solved on the way to the goal.
Case now. We're an isolated case now. Everyone who does a big podcast in the UK, when they get to not even the size we have now, smaller, what do? They leave. So we...
Right. Yeah, well, how about you use your platform for good, since you have one?
We are already an isolated case, in that we are desperate to stay and try and make Britain better so that our families can live there and enjoy themselves there. I mean, when I was on Stephen Bartlett's show the last time, Diary of a CEO, we talked about this. I said to him, we've never talked about this, Stephen, but I bet you can name 50 people off the top of your head who've left the UK in the last few years, who are entrepreneurs, business owners.
Okay, fine. Maybe you should be like, look, you know what? Fine, the losers leave. We're going to fight to the end because we want the UK to win. Otherwise, don't complain, okay? If you get nuked, don't complain. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, I get it now. I understand what happened in Europe. It's a very, very sad situation where, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Here, let me. I mean, do we want to? Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? Where? What? Like how? Like the depravity. Oh, this is a beautiful take. I need to show you this. Check this out. Filming for Sacha Baron Cohen's new movie, The Dictator 2, is underway in London and will apparently feature cameo from Prime Minister Starmer. Oh, this is amazing. That's such a good take on what's going on. Yep, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let's just for the good measure explain what this guy is doing in Syria. All right, let's see what else. Like, you know what? No, I haven't. I haven't seen Canada's NDP party conference. What's there? Should I check it? Do you guys have a link or something? Do I miss the Ayatollah? What do you mean? What do you mean? We have the same connection as we did before. I don't know what happened. Oh, here is Netanyahu. Birthright citizenship has to do with the babies of slaves, not Chinese billionaires who have 56 kids, all of whom become American citizens. One of the many great scams of our times, President Donald J. Trump. Oh, I love that. You guys, yeah, the NDP conference was the, oh, wow. You guys, you know, at some point, you need to fight. You need to fight for your countries. Like, here. Like, here's France, Italy, and Spain have all closed their airspace to American military aircraft. Switzerland has also taken this step. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? If more European countries take this step, it could dramatically increase USA jet fuel expenditure and distance its targets from Iran. Are you joking, right? They're gonna use more fuel. So I guess they would have no choice other than securing more fuel. If the jets they're flying would need more fuel, it means that they need to secure more fuel and take over more fuel resources. Am I correct here? Is there any other logical conclusion that you can make here? Fine, if you need more fuel, we're gonna take more fuel. What's the problem? I see no problem. I see absolutely no problem. By the way, aren't these green people, aren't they supposed to be worried about wasting like fuel, and it's how it's like makes the world like and here's another idiot. Lebanon rejects Israeli security zone plan. I reject Lebanon existence. I don't talk as Israel, but as for myself, I reject Lebanon. So Lebanon is pushing back against reported Israeli plans to establish a buffer zone in southern Lebanon. I agree. I agree we should take the entirety of Lebanon. The Lebanese defense minister warns an imposed security zone would violate Lebanon's sovereignty. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We care so much. I care so much about Lebanon's sovereignty. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You scared me right now. Oh, my God. No way. No way. Threats of displacement could escalate the conflict for it could. Are you joking? How would it escalate the conflict further, sweetheart? How would it escalate the conflict further? Am I like, how would, can anyone answer that question, please? I'm looking for answers. Like, how would it escalate the conflict further? Can somebody enlighten me? How would it escalate the conflict further? Huh? Where is the enlighten me? Enlighten me. Please tell me, how would it escalate further? Here, Canada Prime Minister Mark Carney condemns Israel's strikes and ground offensive in Lebanon as an illegal invasion. saying it violates Lebanese sovereignty. Again, what is this Lebanese sovereignty everybody's talking about? What is this Lebanese sovereignty? Is this food? Is this like what is this like why am I supposed like what is this Lebanese sovereignty I'm supposed to care about it? Like I'm not convinced. Like I'm not convinced. The government of Lebanon has banned Hezbollah, is taking action, is trying to take is yeah there is footage of the way there is footage that shows how they're trying to take action against Hezbollah and their terrorist activities and their threats to Israel, and that is the purported justification for this invasion, so we condemn it. Canada, I think Mark Carney should worry about the sovereignty of Canada. I don't get it. Like, why is this Canada? What is it? Like the 51st state of the America? What is this Canada that is speaking about sovereignty? I don't get it. Isn't it just a future state in America, that Canada thing? I don't. Oh, you're saying Americans don't want Canada. Listen, here's what you need to do. You need to get the Canadians out, and then you can get Canada. Here's the thing. It's like that's the funny part is that it's not like there are too many people. It's not like we need. It's not a, how is it called? The German, the Lausanne, how did they call it? You know, they needed more space because where they were like the birth rates were so high that they needed more room for their things. Lebensraum, that's how it's called. Anyway, like it's not like we need it because it's not like there is any society right now that is looking to like that is growing so fast that it needs more territory per se. Like that's the thing, which is like the sad thing is that there are just a lot of people right now who could have been useful but chose not to be, and that's the problem. It's like, yeah, you're right. It miss. I know, yeah. Maybe they should like at least take Canada's oil and gas because they need more fuel for the jets to bypass Europe as they go and strike Iran. And also, they might need more fuel for the jets if they also decide to strike Europe on the way to Iran. I don't know. Maybe they. I don't know. The markets are pumping after Iran's president said Iran is ready to end the war if they receive security guarantees. How delusional. But are their markets aware that the president has no power and has made similar statements before? I hope there is more to the market pump than just this statement. I think this statement is so ridiculous that they realize that Iran is going to go. So it's going to be like a whole new world. And that's what. Oh, thank you so much for your support. Rebecca, Lies destroy lives. Lies destroy lives. Rebecca, have you seen the video about Islamic Tawriya by... No, I haven't. By Raymond Hib. I haven't seen it, actually. I haven't seen it. Arabs have a lots of children. They actually don't, like, not anymore, no. It's like not really. The Africans have a lot of children. The Africans still have a lot of children, but basically they're the only ones. And honestly, like they have to cross a Sahara or an ocean to get anywhere anyway. So, I mean, they do manage to cross to Europe somehow, but it's not. I don't know what the percentage of them there are. Right. That's beautiful. Starmer suffers major defeat in court regarding his plans to transfer sovereignty of the Chagos archipelago from the UK to Mauritius. Thank goodness. The judge of the BIOT Supreme Court, British Indian Ocean Territory, has has overturned Tony Blair's law from 2004 that removed the Chagosians' rights of abode, calculated that the cost of Storm's Chagos surrenders will be up to and over £48 billion. The government claimed it would only be £3.7 billion. The judge made it clear that there is no historical authority for prerogative power to expel or permanently exclude a population of British subjects from the territory to which their citizenship belongs. The judge squashed the government's removal orders against the 4 Chagosians who were recently returned to Chagos to stop the transfer to Mauritius. This is undoubtedly the biggest one of the biggest moments in the campaign to save Chagos and might completely derail the government's plan to transfer the territory to Mauritius, as there are now Chagosians living on the islands. That's interesting. So, we are so you're saying that you are ruled by woke liptards in the West. Trump is the only sane person in politics right now, and Bibi hold the line in the Levant. Without them, we don't want to think of. I know. This is what worries me. Like, everybody lost the plot. They all lost the plot, and they lost the, like. Why is everybody losing the plot? Well, this is the time where I say there is only one solution, which is continue doing what's right and just believe in God or something. I'm an atheist, but I say, I gave up. It's like just like a miracle will. I would just hope that a miracle would happen in time. As this is Netanyahu's message for. I wonder if I can make it English. Here is a breaking: Islamists in Syria continue to raid Christian villages. They have canceled all Easter festivities due to continued violence. Where is the outrage? Where is the outrage? Lies destroy lives. Thank you for your support again. Thank you so much. The video about Islamic Tawriya is a clip from Raymond Ibrahim's live stream, Lying for Allah Exposed. Super important. We have a fifth column in our midst. Yes, 100%. It's very good he does this job, his work. I do hope that it's true. It's true. So, this is interesting.
I think the market, like the markets are unpredictable, and it's hard for me to tell you exactly what, but I think they're just looking at, is there a chance something can go wrong? Now, we should all hope nothing goes wrong. We should all hope that these bad people are, that we win this thing and clean up the straits, and that Iran is no longer a threat to everybody. And but there,
yes,
the markets will be concerned until it's over. But I think it's very important. It's much more important that this be successfully completed than what the market does.
And that sounds like what the UAE and Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states are saying.
Yeah.
Finish this off the right way. They see the urgency here.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes. I hear some people say, they weren't an imminent threat. A threat means I'm threatening you. I might do something bad. These people have been doing something bad for 47 years. They've been killing people. They've been killing Americans. They funded that terrible Hamas thing. Several Americans were killed on October 7th. And so they've had proxy wars. They've been threatening people. I think people are surprised to find out that had a ballistic missile and go 3,000 miles. These are bad people, and they needed to be stopped. And just
thank goodness. By the way, here's the thing. They're not thinking about tomorrow. Do they not understand what it means if we reach an agreement with Iran right now? It means that it means that it's a declaration of they owe the Strait of Hormuz. It means that the economies of the Gulf states would not recover. They would not recover. It's going to be the end of the Arab economies in the Gulf states. That means that all their charity work around the Arab world would be cut off. That means that Egypt would be closer to collapsing than ever before. It's in their situation. It was pretty bad as is. It's like there is so much that could and it's gonna embolden the China, it's gonna embolden Russia, it's gonna make everything worse for everyone, and they're gonna rush into making a nuclear bomb as soon as possible, to the detriment of the Iranian society, and while destroying whatever is left of this country when it comes to water and infrastructure. Like what about like these two idiots, right? The trigonometry people. They should get me. They should, like, really, I'm so tired. They should get someone like me to talk and explain to the idiots nicely and calmly that there is the day after. Everything you do comes with a cost. Even if you make an agreement, it comes with a cost, and there is a day after. Would you discuss what it means that you back down now? What it would mean? It would mean that Iran has control of the Strait of Hormuz. It would mean that they would rush into continuing destroying their own country. You're saying I don't have the clout. Maybe Javier Tingo could. Yeah, maybe he could. Maybe. Or it's like, fine. Maybe it's people choose what to watch. People don't want to hear what they need to hear, so they don't watch a channel like mine. I understand. So you get what you are ready for. It's like sometimes people, you need to get burnt. It is what it is. It is what because if you don't want to hear, they don't want to hear. They can't even they can't even make to think about the next day of whatever choice they make. Just idiots. Just idiots. What do the Europeans think they would get if it stops now? Nothing. Everything, they're not gonna get what they think they're gonna get. What are they they are not thinking. This is what is killing me. They are not thinking at all. It's like something already happened. It's like, oh, this war, blah blah blah. It already happened, sweethearts. It already happened. It already happened. What would be the cost of stopping it? It's like, idiots. Isaac, here's the voice of the Iranian people. Oh, that's interesting.
80% of the Iranians want to throw out this regime.
I hear they cheer your name outside their apartment windows at night.
I hope this music doesn't have it's not gonna be problematic.
بیبی جون فدات بشم دیگه بی تو خستم بیبی جون.
بزن عمو بزن بیبی.
Well, I don't like the music. Might be problematic. Okay, I'll just stop it for a second.
You can't fault them, and I don't, having faced machine gun against unarmed protesters who are saying we want freedom. We just want.
You're saying Rebecca Nick Matau is great, an upcoming social media content producer. If you don't know him, you should really look. Oh, okay. I'll look at him. Nick Matau. Is he on? Oh. Yeah, right. The one that argues with people? How is it helpful? It's just entertainment. I'm sorry. It's entertainment. It's not geopolitics. I like just looking at the way his feed looks like. It's entertainment. I'm sorry. You need geopolitics. There is no geopolitical discussion in English. There isn't. At most you have short term military and army discussion, not No, everyone has to start somewhere, and he's finishing a master's in Middle Eastern history. Okay, so when he talks about geopolitics, then I'll be interested. It's nice too. I can't. I told you, it's a waste of time. People think it is like, oh, I'm gonna argue with a Muslim. Don't platform them. Why are you platforming them? I get it. I get it. It's like if you need to, you do entertainment because it pays, right? I get it, because it gets views, because it's like, it's entertainment. But like, fine. But I'm like, I you know what? Like, I don't want to waste my time. I'm not here to waste my time on entertaining you. I'm just saying the things that need to be said. Like, is it English?
And this is the guarantee for our future. We are working on transforming Israel into a super nation in the region and globally. And we were able to do so thanks to our soldiers and our captains and all those who fought and those who died. And of course, thanks to your solidarity and your steadfastness. And this is the guarantee for our future. We are.
Amen. Yeah, that's why I subscribe. We do geopolitics in cool way. Yay! I agree, but whatever you say is entertainment too. Of course, it should be entertaining. I mean, I don't want to bore you guys. Otherwise, like, I can lecture you all day long and explain how everything works. And believe me, I can. I can show you lectures. I can explain how things work. But like, first of all, I'm like, I have a course for that, which I'm now filming for an online version for those who want it. But but it requires work. If you actually like it requires work as well. So you need to think. And people, I mean, maybe. I mean, the thing is that in the end of the day, right? My goal here is to, first of all, like, make people understand that they should have agency as well. That's so funny. So this guy was like, Israel shouldn't say that it stops the contracts with France because they had treated us badly, which is true. We should lie and say that we really want to buy their stuff, but their weapons are crap. And then everybody in the comments are like, that's a problem because their weapons are crap. Actually, they really are bad. So it's like, no, it's really bad. It is. Okay, so they say like, oh, okay, their weaponry is crap except for one thing. They're drones who know how to fly a white flag to so like that's I need to translate, show translation. Except for the autonomous surrender drones that know how to fly in synchronized formation when each one of is connected to different cornering of a big white flag, and in general, who buys French weapons. Oh, that's hilarious. Outer surrender, yeah. It's like, I cannot believe that. Meloni, I accuse Israel of crossing the red line. I condemn the massacre of Palestinian civilians, and I announce that Italy will support European sanction against Israel. What are you thinking, you idiot? Like, what are you gonna get?
La reazione a un'aggressione deve sempre rispettare il principio di proporzionalità.
What
vale per gli individui,
that
vale a
mind, really? Like, what's wrong? Like, what did they, like, what? Like, what happened? She was fine. What happened? Like, did she find a banana and slept on? What's wrong? Like, what is Italy getting from this, you idiot? What is she getting? What is Europe getting out of it? You want to sanction Israel? Europe wants to sanction Israel? Seriously?
Per gli stati e Israele ha superato quel limite.
Their entire security apparatus has relied on Israeli technology. Are they idiots?
Una guerra su larga scala che sta coinvolgendo oltre misura la popolazione civile palestinese, ed è su questo limite che lo Stato ebraico ha finito per infrangere le norme umanitarie, causando una
Who
strage.
cares humanitarian? What is she talking about? I mean, I want to see them given the proper humanitarian conditions to all the girls that they got raped by immigrants in their countries. This is why I want to see, like, why can't you give them proper humanitarian care?
Tra I civili.
Like, no, raping girls is not humanitarian.
Una scelta che l'Italia ha più volte definito inaccettabile, che porterà al nostro voto favorevole su alcune delle sanzioni proposte dalla Commissione europea verso Israele. L'Italia c'è e ci sarà.
No, I don't understand. Like, yeah, exactly. Europe thinks they're punishing Israel when in fact they're harming themselves. Listen, it's problematic for Israeli economy, yes. But you know, Europe is not like Europe. They are already suffering from being cut off energy. Do you know where Israel is located geopolitically? Like, what's wrong with them?
Per chiunque sia disposto a lavorare a un piano serio per il rilascio degli ostaggi, un cessate il fuoco permanente, l'esclusione di Hamas da ogni dinamica di governo in Palestina, il graduale ritiro di Israele da Gaza, l'impegno della comunità internazionale nella gestione della fase successiva al cessate il fuoco fino alla realizzazione della prosperità.
What are they thinking? What are actually it's funny because honestly it's gonna make Israel's life easier. It really would, because here's the thing: there's only one continent in this. Like there are only about a couple of countries in this world that care about human rights, and that is Western Europe. Like the only ones who care. Like the only ones where like the population like cares about human rights, like anywhere. I don't know if it's news or old video. I don't know. I saw it today. I saw several. I don't know if it's an old video or today, honestly.
Until
what
the
is
Jewish
this? Another
Christian Zionists believe that Jesus Christ's second coming cannot occur until the Jewish people are gathered in their ancestral home.
God gives them the land to go in and take the land. He didn't give it to the Presbyterians out of
Why is it
Scotland.
always
He didn't give
putting this annoying music?
To the German Lutherans. He gave it to the Jewish people.
You want redemption?
Like, what is Europe thinking? What is Europe thinking? Are you kidding? Like, it's not enough that Turkey sends the refugees your way, that you get refugees from. Now you want Israel to send people your way? Like what? Like what? What is Europe thinking? God damn it! What is Europe thinking? Why? What are they thinking? What are they thinking? Do they want Israel and Russia to suffocate them? I don't get it.
Redemption. You want second coming of God. Of Messiah. Keep out of my political scenario. But
this guy, like, he brought up a communist, former Israel president Avram Bog. He wasn't. It's not a former president. I don't know. It's like he brought a communist to argue with Josh Shammer.
But in order to get peace, sometimes
why do you bring a communist to argue?
It is wholly necessary to prepare for war. That is a quintessential biblical message.
Can we agree?
I mean, yep, transfer all the Gazans to London. I mean, here's the thing. The other thing is, right? Oh, you're saying the Meloni video was from September. Okay, that makes more sense. September 2025. I don't know why it surfaced now. It's just weird. Like I saw she made other like comments. I was like, oh, she made other comments about Iran. I was like, but like, I don't know. What are they like in general? Like, what is Europe thinking? Oh, I was like, $1 trillion Iran invested in destroying us has been wasted. Yep. I don't get it, really. I'm just so confused about Europe right now. I saved it because I thought it was interesting. The comment he got. Report here.
Pierre said yesterday, and I quote him, God does not listen to the prayer of those who wage war. Can you comment on that?
I think it was misquoted.
Our nation was a nation founded 250 years ago almost on Judeo-Christian values. And we've seen presidents, we've seen the leaders of the Department of War, and we've seen our troops go to prayer during the most turbulent times in our nation's history. And I don't think there's anything wrong with our military leaders or with the president calling on the American people to pray for our service members and those who are serving our country overseas. In fact, I think it's a very noble thing to do. And if you talk to many service members, they will tell you they appreciate the prayers and support from the commander-in-chief and from his cabinet.
And then check out what they're saying. Thomas Jefferson called Judaism a bloodthirsty, cruel, and remorseless religion, whose God was vindictive, capricious, and unjust. He disliked how they punished children for the sins of the fathers. He found no utility in a religion that didn't believe in an afterlife. Okay, so like it doesn't change the fact that it was founded on Judeo-Christian values. Thomas Jefferson is not the only person that made America America. Besides, it's like, yeah, he didn't like Jesus either. He didn't like any religion. That's the funny part, right? It was just against religion as well. I don't know. Donald Trump. NATO is zero without America. Italian PM Meloni. Cool. What is this? Is this real?
Sbagliata questa strategia? Allora
si
deve formalizzare l'alternativa.
This strategy is wrong, but if it doesn't work, then the alternative must be formalized.
Mi si deve dire quindi che cosa si intende fare, cioè
distance ourselves in the sense that we must leave NATO.
Dobbiamo uscire dalla NATO? Dobbiamo chiudere le basi
we
americane? Dobbiamo rompere i rapporti commerciali? Dobbiamo assaltare i McDonald's? Non lo so. Che dobbiamo fare? Che dobbiamo fare? Altrimenti, chiaramente, sbagliata questa strategia?
Okay. Is this real? What the heck? I mean, I agree. I'm agreeing. Oh, that's
Can the world sit back, as the world was doing, sitting back and saying, all right, we have this fanatic regime in Iran, which murders its own people by the tens of thousands, murders and wounds these people without any compunction,
Yes.
and calling death to America, choking the energy pipeline of the world, and out to destroy you and us. Do you want to just sit there and say, oh, no, it's okay, let's not do it, because we may have a momentary rise in the price of oil? Well, what do you think will happen when they have these nuclear weapons? Look at what they're doing. They're bombing every country in sight, including a European country, Cyprus, okay, through their proxy, Hezbollah. So they're doing everything that without nuclear weapons. Now think what would happen, what kind of world we'll have if they had nuclear weapons. And that's what President Trump, with my support and our partnership, have set out to prevent. Can the world sit back?
Yep, that's the basic reality. Christians and Muslims can live together and be friends. Pope Leo. Yep. Amazing. I mean, oh, this is a beautiful look. Breaking: an armed group declaring themselves as the new Republican movement have issued a warning to Irish politicians. You have fooled our communities you have flooded our communities with military-age men. Some of us warned you. People will wake up, and they do. The autocorrection will be outstandingly violent. My goal has always been to wake up people prior to this possibility. Alas. Nice.
To the people of Newry, Mourne and Down, we, the New Republican movement, have watched their councillors and MLAs over the past 12 months. The level of disrespect shown to the people who put you into power, this cannot be ignored any longer. We are proud men of Ireland. We are patriots. Your policies and decision-making regards to flooding our communities with undocumented military-aged men is not acceptable. We will not sit back any longer and watch our culture and religion destroyed by the people we put in power. Also, the sexual indoctrination of our children in schools has not went unnoticed either. The New Republican movement will take immediate action against anyone who threatens our ways of life and the safety of our women and children. We have your addresses and known your movements. Every one of you are legitimate targets as of today. The New Republican movement, 28th of 11/25.
Amazing. And Willie are saying, no, these guys aren't good. They're communists. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because, when they listen to trigonometry, the only options that they are given is either to be an Islamist or a communist. They don't teach them how to be anything else. Makes sense then. It is what it is. This is the CENTCOM meeting between Israel. So cute together. Breaking, announces 720,000 Syrian refugees will be repatriated within the next 3 years. The era of remigration is upon us. Terribly. Oh my God. Oh my God. Germany is Palestinian land. It shouldn't. Oh my God. Yeah. We already. Wait, I think I never removed the poll of how likely it is to happen. 86% said ha 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 ha. Nice. 720,000 people. And how big is the German army? Just curiosity. Size of German army. Approximately 186,000. That is I think that is how many? How many did I say here? 720. I think that is less. Interesting. How many of those Syrian refugees have secretly? How many of them been hoarding arms? Do you think? I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, do you think they just leave? Like, okay. I mean, I guess it's not the army's job anyway. It's like the army. It's like, what is the size of German police? That's the actual question. Okay, so it has over 300,000 personnel across federal and state levels, including 50. Okay, so they have 300,000 people that work in the police. Okay, so if they combine the army and the police together, they can fight in the streets, and they're gonna. Yeah, okay, fine. Lies destroy lives. Thank you for your support. Thanks for reading the super chats, Rebecca. It will help your channel grow. Be sure to comment on those 2 videos by Raymond Ibrahim. 2 videos? 2 videos. Islamic Tawira and I only saw 1. This is also says 1. Lying for Allah exposed. I also made videos on that, by the way. But like they have an entire system, like khiyal, Like they have 9 different words for lying and different ways to apply lying in different cases. I made a video about it as well. So, I mean, mass casualty event in Russia. Oh, well. Oh, here's the... Okay, this is beautiful. This is the Lebanese army leaving the Christian village of Ain Abel to allow Hezbollah to take control of the village to use its population as human shields. Yeah. Yeah, well, they're doing such a good job. Tell me more about Lebanese sovereignty. I need to, like, tell me more about the Lebanese sovereignty. So much sovereignty. Oh my God. So much sovereignty. Huge up. Okay, so are there any new news anyway? So, I think I'll wrap up. There is the video now. Oh no, my computer got stuck. Honestly, like the Europeans. Here's the thing about Raymond Ibrahim, okay? Like he's good with. No, stop. Okay. Here's the thing with Raymond Ibrahim, right? I appreciate his work a lot. It's great, like at 100%. He does. I know, like I know that doesn't have any favorable views when it comes to Jews. So I'm very conflicted about it.
And I've been a big supporter of NATO. And one of the reasons why I've been a supporter of NATO is because I believe that these basing rights give us leverage and give us flexibility and operational capability all over the world. But if NATO is just about us defending Europe if they're attacked, but them denying us basing rights when we need them, that's not a very good arrangement. That's a hard one to stay engaged in and say this is good for the United States. So all of them's going to have to be re-examined. All of it's going to have to be re-examined. And I've been a big supporter of NATO.
Yeah, that's sad. Thank you, everybody. Chag Sameach. Oh, thank you, Carlos Rodriguez, for buying me coffee. Bought me 10 books. Thank you so much. Since you are in the reality of the events in the Middle East, am I wrong in thinking that Western media is presenting a biased comical portrayal? They are basically, what the Western media does is demoralization, and it doesn't present the option of victory, and it really doesn't believe in humanity at all. It just demoralizes you and makes you think you're gonna lose no matter what. So that's what Western media does. And it doesn't understand how important it is to defend Western values and lifestyle. And like when I say lifestyle, I mean the ability to say what you think. I don't mean like how much you like, how luxury. I mean like actually being able to say something when you want to say it. I think you'll be impressed by Raymond's knowledge. He is an expert in deception in some. No, he is extremely knowledgeable. He's extremely knowledgeable. It just like for me, I'm conflicted because I know he's also an anti-Semite. So it's like it's not a major issue, right? It's not like I can say like it's a major issue that is an anti-Semite. It's not a big deal. And when I say anti-Semite, I mean like anti-Jewish, like he's like, so that's like. But it's true. I love what he's saying. I agree. But I also know that he doesn't know anything about Judaism, and he is more than willing to throw Jews under the bus. And I think I dislike it. But to be honest, like I feel a lot of times I feel the same way about many Christians. So maybe it's fair. So So yeah, I mean, he does. His work is very impressive. Yeah, and I really recommend watching Lloyd de Jong as well, because he also does a lot of work. And thank you so much, Nathaniel, as well. For thank you. God bless you as well. God bless you all. So what makes me say that he's anti-Jewish? I just listened to him enough to know. The thing is, like, he is fair enough to try to avoid it, but he is like the anti-Jewish in a sense that, like, here's what the way it is happening. It's like Christianity is good, and then it's like he is claiming like some things are Christian values, and they're like, I just let me tell you, he is not, he doesn't understand Judaism, and he is not exactly fair. So it wasn't, so here's the thing, it wasn't in his channel, so I really loved his work, and then I have it on my channel that I actually commented on him being interviewed on GB News, and the guy that interviewed him said he said a lot of shit when it comes to Jews, and Raymond just nodded, he didn't say anything. And it just nodded, like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't believe he's like, he is against Islam, true. But it's like, listen, if somebody is a source of authority and he says things that on Judaism that are not true, I mean, I got issues with that, right? It's like, it's similar to the Jeffrey, what was this comment on? Here's the thing, right? I love his work and everything, but it I don't know. I don't feel like 100% with it, Here is a I don't know. It bothers me, honestly. It bothers me. Like, I 100%. I don't know. I'm just, to be honest, like, invite him. Maybe I can try. You're saying Neturei Karta? No. So Hasidic Jews do not support Hamas or IRGC. Neturei Karta do. But not even not even the, what's their name? Satmar. Not even Satmar accepts Neturei Karta. I mean, they're not, it's only Neturei Karta. Hasidic Jews are not supporting Hamas or IRGC. Neturei Karta are excommunicated. They're not part of the Jewish community. Like, even the most radical left, like radical anti-Zionist Hasidic community, which is Satmar, had excommunicated. So, lies destroy lives. Raymond supports Israel's right to defend itself. He said that in one of his super chats. Oh, okay, that's cool. I'm happy to hear that. It makes sense with some people. I may say they are just too afraid, cowardly, but I hardly doubt Raymond was scared to oppose something on GB law. Yeah, I don't know what to think, honestly. I'll be happy. Like I don't know. To be fair, Rebecca, the only denomination that is openly and publicly condemned anti-Semitism it is us Catholics. The Vatican outlined this in Nostra Aetate. However, we tolerate all civilized. I don't know, sure. I don't know about that, honestly. I just that the Catholic Church had a lot of anti-Semitism. I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter, honestly. It makes sense. It's okay to have religious rivalries, right? It's normal. I don't think it's not normal, but what I dislike is when something like when I don't know. Interview Raymond. I'm sure you'll find he has nothing against Jews. Okay, I'll try. I'll try to. I'll actually. Why not? I mean, I'm all like I'm for it. I'm not. I think what he's making is great. But like it also like it depends on his experience as well, right? It's like but actually it's a low bar just to support Israel's right to defend itself. I just I don't know about Raymond. He likes crusades, including those who slaughtered Jerusalem. It's not that like the crusades, they slaughtered anyone they encountered in the way that was not of the same dominion as them. Like it's not just Jews. They went and they also like annihilated Christians who weren't part of their like had a different kind of Christianity as well. And by the way, it's very rare that persecution against Jews doesn't come with persecution against Christianity, even if it's Christians who do it. Even if it's Christians who lead the persecution against Jews, it usually comes against any persecution against every type of Christianity that is not their type of Christianity as well. So it's a thing. It's a thing that exists in Christianity. Does anyone need to support America's right to defend itself? Yes, I think so. I think we do, because America's right to defend itself, it needs to they need to be able to, for example, throw Mamdani out of America. That's America's right to defend itself, 100%. And right now they don't have that right because the Mamdani is still in America. So clearly America needs to be supported when it comes to the right to defend itself. So I would say yes, actually, we do need to support America's right to defend itself. Raymond said he even supports Israel politically. Wow, lies destroy lives. Wow, that's nice. Is it true that Jews called Yeshu to mock Jesus' cursed name? That's what we thought, but apparently no. So that's what I heard as well when I was a child, like that but apparently that was how his name was pronounced. So during Jesus's time, his name was pronounced Yeshu. So the truth is just that when Jesus was alive, this is how his name was pronounced, Yeshu. It's like it wasn't the same biblical pronunciation. The biblical pronunciation would have been Yeshua, but he didn't live in like Old Testament time. So he lived as his name was Yeshua. Yes, Yeshua, not Yeshua. Yeshua was the Hebrew pronunciation that is like, but during his time, he usually the ein in the end of a word would not be pronounced, so it was just Yeshua. So Yeshua was how he would be named, like how people would call him in the street, for example, in when he was alive. Yeah, that's the we, like believe me, like we also didn't know why we call him Yeshua, which is funny. Rebecca, what's the difference between the name Jesus and Joshua? So Jesus is Yeshua, and Joshua is and Joshua is Yehoshua. It's not, it's like it sounds similar. They're similar, but it's not exactly the same. So it's fun. It's funny. Like, so Jews just kept pronouncing his name Yeshu, and I heard about, like, yes, it's like against his name, but then like somebody went and checked, and apparently Jews just like have habits, like they like, you know, the traditions take hard, and they just kept the pronunciation the way it was pronounced when he was alive, apparently. Not as vindictive as one might think. So that's fun. Oh, this is new.
I think with 2 or 3 weeks, straight, lunatics along the straight. But if they want something, but I would say that within 2 weeks, maybe 3, we're hitting them very hard. Last night we knocked out tremendous amounts of missile-making facilities. We, as you probably read or wrote, we knocked out. Excuse me.
Pardon interrupting. The U.S. will be gone or done with the war.
I think with 2 or 3 weeks.
Not 3 weeks. If it is
we'll
3
leave
weeks,
because there's no reason for us to do this. Look, problem with the strait, a guy can take a mine, drop it in the water,
And
say,
that's
oh,
it.
it's unsafe. It's not like you're taking out an army or you're taking out a country, or they can drop it. Or you can take a machine gun from the shore and shoot a few bullets at a ship, or maybe an over-the-shoulder missile, small missiles. That's not for us. That'll be for France. That'll be for whoever's using the strait. But I think when we leave, probably that's all cleared up. Today, I heard tremendous numbers of ships were sailing through. We're negotiating with them right now. They've been, again, we have had regime change. Now, regime change was not one of the things I had as a goal. I had one goal. They will have no nuclear weapon. And that goal has been attained. They will not have nuclear weapons. But we're finishing the job. And I think within maybe 2 weeks, maybe a couple of days longer to do the job. But we want to knock out every single thing they have. Now, it's possible that we'll make a deal before that, because we'll hit bridges.
Listen, I love it. That's why is it America's problem, right? I mean, there is the petrodollar issue thing, but honestly, like right now, like those who use petrodollars, like the Gulf states, are super dependent on America, so that's not in danger. So, I mean, that sounds like 100% to me. You know, it's like they cleared I mean, it's not like the Gulf, like it's not like there is an alternative anyway, right? So, no, let them eat what they cooked a little. Lies destroy lives. Raymond was interviewed by Trigonometry. He goes into the First Crusade in that interview. That's the shameful one where Jews and Christians were murdered. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's the thing, right? It's the Crusades, like to do things like that, you need to do it properly as well. So, but I don't really have any issues, right, with the Crusades. I think the more important part of this conversation is to understand how incredibly cruel and awful the Muslims can be and were bragging about being, and the fact that their culture didn't change. And that needs to be understood. And, I mean, I think that this work is super important. It's not like that work, like understanding that, how dangerous Islam is, that's super important. Here's the thing, like, when in hindsight, Israel was so lucky that the Muslims refused to participate in the Israeli, like, because what happened was that the Muslims in Israel, they rebelled, so they had the rebellion, and what they did is that they had they stopped participating in the local job market in the 30s. So they had several rounds, but like I think the big one, like in 36, and it's like they stopped participating, and because they stopped participating in the workforce, the Jews had to establish a economic system that doesn't rely on Arabs. And then they refused, refused to be part of the Jewish, to be part of the new state. So a lot of them left, they refused to cooperate in any way, shape, or form. They barely participate in elections. It's like the Arab, the Muslims in Jerusalem don't vote for local elections. And that it all in the attempt to the attempt was to suffocate the Jewish community, but the result of it was that the Jews had to learn to rely just on themselves without the Muslim participation. So the thing is, they took a stance that made it impossible for the Israelis not to build themselves without relying on them at all. And especially after October 7th, now we bring foreign workers even for construction. There's now they're from China instead of the Palestinians. So, and so in agriculture, it's everything that they do was to their own detriment. Well, while in the UK and other places, they do the exact opposite, where they participate in politics, they integrate, they work, they create this dependence on them. And yeah, it's yes, they did pass the death penalty for terrorism. Is this good or bad in Israeli side? I want to see it happen first, honestly. I want to see the court ruling that sentences someone to death. And I'm just not very I want to see it happen, to be honest. And the thing, so to me, right, and so this is what I said about the UK and everything, right? I know that some would say they live in their own ghettos. They don't live in their own ghettos. They don't. I don't think they do. I think they're everywhere. I think they're pretty spread. They are participating in the political systems. They are the voting block, the voting is dependent on them. Until Mansour Abbas, who is part of the Muslim Brotherhood, the thing is that I think that most Muslims in the UK, they follow the Muslim Brotherhood doctrine that says, yes, do participate in politics. So until Mansour Abbas, the Arab, the Muslim, the Arab parties refused to sit in the coalition. So they wouldn't sit, it was we're not, we are taking votes, but we would not be part of the coalition ever. So thank you. Honestly, we're thank you for not participating. Thank you for making it, for making decisions where step by step you're just you are basically getting yourself out of the system. So it's This is why it's like it. So in a sense, right, you can say, okay, so it looks like there is a moment that it looks like the same situation Israel was at. But in reality, the way they are going about it is different. So it's like, and plus, like, there is this thing that Judaism is not that accommodating of other, like, like Jews are Jews. It's like they marry Jews. It's like it's an entire thing, like, and it's like there's the communal thing, and the fact that it's like Jews, like, it's really hard to become Jewish. It's really hard to pretend that you're Jewish. So, and that's like, so you like taking Jews to pray in a mosque or study from imam. That's a lot harder, even if the Jews are communists, right? Even if the Jews are like, it's like this is a community that is used to isolating itself in a sense, even when it's in exile, right? It's like survived by isolation. So they don't do this let's mingle thing. Like, there we have kosher, right? We don't think about halal because we have our kosher system and everything needs to be kosher. It's like it's more strict than halal, and everything that's kosher is also halal technically. So lies destroys lives. Muslims want to divide Christians and Jews. I'm Christian. Hopefully one day Raymond's book Sword and Scimitar, I don't know how to say this word, Scimitar, will be translated into Hebrew. Jews and Christians either stand together or we fall. Yes, amen, amen. That's like, I want us to stand together 100%. Like, I don't think it's just Jews and Christians. I think it could also be the Hindus, the Zoroastrians, the atheists that believe, like, that are moral. There are a lot of, like, it's not just Jews and Christians. There are a lot of different types of, like, society that could be standing together. It's like, as long as we believe in certain principles, right? And the principles are equality in front of the law. We're all created in an image of God. Like a descent, choosing life, choosing prosperity, choosing blessing. Basic, the 10 Commandments, like, I mean, the 10 Commandments, like, but I made a video of how to read it in a secular way so that it includes even non-Jews, non-Christians. Oh, you're saying the C is silent like Caesar. So you say scimitar? Scimitar. Israel people not respect Jesus by keep calling Yeshua, but that's how his name was pronounced when he was alive. The pronunciation was Yeshua, not Yeshua. And that's his name. Like, why is it's this, like, you pronounce the name, like, you pronounce the name of God all the time, even though the 10 Commandments clearly say not to use God's name. So, like, we have disagreements. I mean, why does it matter? Not really. Yeshua means God is so. Yeah. I mean, if, like, salvation would, I guess, yeah. Who is Sam Shamoun? I don't know him. Yeshua is how it's written in the New Testament. Well, most Jews don't read the New Testament, to be honest. Most Christians, I think, don't read the New Testament either, so we have that in common. Well, like, there is a reason why you shouldn't use God's name in vain. And the reason is exactly that. That, like, which I explained in my videos. If you use God's name in vain, or you use God's, like, people would start fighting on how to pronounce God's name instead of like doing something that is actually for the sake of God. So just don't pronounce it. Just like whatever God is, like, you know. If you start like this is why there's like, don't create an image. The image is this. Like if you start fighting, God looks like this. Like there is a Korean Jesus, there is a black Jesus, and then people gonna kill each other for Korean versus black Jesus. There is a reason why God said not create an image of God, because you're gonna fight over the most stupid things, like the skin color, how tanned it was. Maybe summertime it was like this. Maybe I don't know. People just. It's like, and it's a waste of time as far as God is concerned. So and that's my problem also, right? Like when you say Christians, or you say even some Jews, right? Netuai Kauta. What I'm not in the same group as Netuai Kauta. I'm sorry. Whatever they follow is not like I don't know. I don't want it to be part of my group. All right, everybody. And Trump is based. Lies destroy lives. Thank you so much for support. Israel has many Christian supporters. We support Israel's right to exist. We'd much rather Israel to be ruled by Jews and Muslims. Yeah, that's fair. You know, it's like
lunatics
I
along
think
the
it's
strait.
something we can
But if they want something
on, right? It's like it's better than Muslims. Better than Muslims. I agree. It's like I mean, is there anything else that's happening? I don't think so. I'm just okay. So yeah, so it's the only thing I'm saying. We're gonna leave 2-3 weeks. Okay, it's gonna be cool. Did you see James Lindsay's latest video? He talks about the Christian nationalism operation happening in America. I haven't seen, but I've heard of the topic. Good night, everybody.